Have you ever really truly trusted a map? We all do, right? Well, what if I told you that for centuries, our most trusted maps have been haunted, not by ghosts, but by entire islands that never should have been there in the first place? Was it real, or was the whole world just fooled for centuries? This is the incredible mystery of Phantom Islands, places that were charted, named, and even searched for, but were never actually there. So let's dive in. It always started with a story. An experienced sailor just back from a long, dangerous voyage, swearing on his life he saw new land. And the map makers, they believed him. They put ink to parchment, and just like that, an island was born. It started appearing on charts, passed from ship to ship, generation to generation. Flash forward a few hundred years. Now we have technology that can see every inch of the globe. So of course, we went looking for these mysterious places. And in its place? Absolutely nothing. Just miles and miles of open ocean. The island was gone. Or to be more accurate, it was never there to begin with. These are what we call Phantom Islands. And for hundreds of years, they were all over our maps. These little ghosts representing whispers, mistakes, and sometimes the wildest hopes of explorers. So how in the world does a mistake that big last for centuries? Well, it all goes back to a time when the world was still a giant question mark, and maps were just as much about imagination as they were about reality. See, before GPS and satellites, making a map was a mix of science, art, and a whole lot of hearsay. A single sailor's report, a simple navigational error, maybe even a mirage, that could be charted as fact. And once an island made it onto one popular map, other cartographers would just copy it. It was like the world's slowest, biggest game of telephone, and the errors just got passed down for hundreds of years. And some of these phantom lands have stories that are honestly stranger than fiction. Let's take a look at a few of the most famous ones in the Ghost Island Gallery. First up, we have Hy-Brasil. Think of it as the Irish Atlantis. It was this legendary island said to be floating somewhere off the west coast of Ireland, a mythical fairy realm haunting the Atlantic. I mean, get this, Hy-Brasil appeared on maps for nearly 700 years. The legend said it was totally shrouded in mist and would only reveal itself once every 7 years. And this wasn't just some fairy tale people told their kids. It was taken so seriously that back in the 1480s, actual expeditions set sail from Bristol, totally determined to find this enchanted land. Okay, now let's jump from ancient myth to modern-day geopolitics with the very strange case of Bermeja Island. Its existence wasn't just a quirky historical footnote, it was potentially worth billions of dollars. So Bermeja was first put on a map way back in the 16th century. For Mexico, it was a huge deal because its location extended their claim over massive, oil-rich parts of the Gulf of Mexico. But when they sent ships to verify it in 1997 and then did a huge study in 2009, it was just gone. This sparked these wild conspiracy theories that the CIA had secretly blown up the island to get the oil rights for the US. You're probably thinking, okay, sure, this happened in the old days, but it can't happen now, right? Not with Google Maps? Oh, you'd be wrong. Meet Sandy Island, a ghost that haunted the digital age. Sandy Island was first reported by a whaling ship way back in 1876, and for years it just sat there on Google Maps, this big black splotch in the Coral Sea. It wasn't until 2012 that an Australian research ship decided to take a detour and check it out, and what did they find? No island. In fact, they measured the depth right where the island should have been, and the ocean floor was over 1,300 meters down. So, if it's not magic, and it's probably not a grand conspiracy, what is really going on here? Why do these islands appear on our maps only to vanish into thin air? Well, the answer is this fascinating mix of mind-bending science and, well, simple human error. So most phantom islands can be chalked up to one of three things: incredible optical illusions, basic human or digital mistakes, and maybe the most surprising one of all, some islands were actually real. They just didn't stick around. Let's start with those illusions. Ever hear of a Fata Morgana? It's this incredibly complex mirage. It happens when layers of air at different temperatures act like a giant warped lens in the sky, bending light and creating these distorted, sometimes fantastical images right on the horizon.
This is probably what created a lot of those phantom islands in the Arctic, and it's even thought to be behind the legend of that ghostly pirate ship, the Flying Dutchman.
But what about that third reason? What if some phantom islands weren't phantoms at all? What if they were real, temporary pieces of land born right out of the sea itself? Take Graham Island. In 1831, a volcano erupted under the Mediterranean Sea, and boom, a brand new island appeared overnight. It immediately sparked a four-way fight over who owned it. But here's the kicker. Nature had the final say. The island was made of loose volcanic rock, and in just 6 months, the waves washed it all away. It vanished back beneath the sea, leaving behind nothing but an argument and one heck of a story. You know, the story of Phantom Islands isn't just a quirky little piece of history. It's actually a pretty powerful reminder that our world, even now, is still a place full of mystery. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In an age where we feel like everything has been explored, everything is on a map, what other secrets is our planet holding on to? And if our maps, the things we trust to guide us, could be haunted by ghosts for centuries, what other basic things that we take for granted might just be an illusion, waiting for us to look a little closer? Because in the end, we can erase these islands from our charts, but we can't erase what they represent. Our endless, unstoppable curiosity to explore the unknown, to chase that horizon, and to find those incredible places that exist just beyond the edge of the map.